Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. Back at y'all with a second video, man. I had to double back since I've been inactive during the weekend. What I want to speak on today, and what I've been trying to speak on, but just been having a hectic schedule with my amateur fighters, was Tszyu. You know what I mean? If y'all guys haven't been keeping up with Tszyu, obviously he was Jermell Charlo's mandatory at one particular time. There were several times that they were supposed to fight each other, but I believe Tszyu had gotten injured. Then following that, Jermell Charlo had gotten injured as well. When Jermell was supposed to come back, he was offered a Canelo fight. He went and took the fight and pretty much sacrificed his WBO title for that fight. You know what I mean? So he gave up undisputed just to face Canelo Alvarez. And what they had done was they just transferred the belt over to Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as the fight was, as soon as they announced Jermell Charlo at the Canelo fight, he was stripped of his WBO title and it was handed over to Tszyu. And now Tszyu is going to go on to face Brian Mendoza, who just came off of an upset victory against Sebastian Fundora. Mendoza, it's a good fight. You know what I mean? It's a good fight. But Tszyu has came out. He's came out and said that he doesn't feel vindicated yet as a champion, which is pretty good to hear. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people have been saying how Tszyu doesn't deserve it and that he didn't fight nobody to get the belt, so on and so on. And I think he actually agrees with him saying that he doesn't feel vindicated. You know what I mean? But he says after he defeats Brian Mendoza, assuming so, that he'll feel vindicated. You know what I'm saying? He didn't necessarily celebrate getting the belt after the Charlo fight because obviously if he didn't fight for it, in his mind, he's not necessarily champion yet. You know what I'm saying? But he's been real confident, been real vocal. He's always been vocal. Not the best trash talker in all honesty, but he is outspoken in the way that he speaks on how he feels. And according to this Boxing Scene article, he said this is his time and this is his division now. You know what I'm saying? So Tszyu feeling a little confident right now. He even came on the record and said he believed Jermell Charlo ducked him to take the Canelo fight. Which I mean, that could be looked at in a way, you know what I mean? Not necessarily because Jermell was scared of him, but because he's seen a bigger opportunity. But he was lined up to fight him. It's not like they didn't have a contract set or they didn't have like a fight schedule or anything like that. He just pretty much like leapfrogged over Tszyu and pursued the Canelo fight. So in all honesty, I believe that Tszyu has every right to feel that way. But at the end of the day, he did understand that it was a business move. You know what I mean? So Tszyu feels like he was ducked, but he's understanding at the same time. You know what I mean? And this is with Tszyu being all confident, thinking this is his division now, and seeing how the way Jermell Charlo performed, I know that Tszyu confidence is at an all-time high. He was like, you folded under the lights. Oh, you gave into that type of pressure. Like, imagine what would have happened if I put that pressure on you. Like, I know that's exactly what Tszyu is thinking. Like, he probably thinking that Jermell heart pump Kool-Aid now. You know what I'm saying? He probably think he a bitch. For real, for real. That might not be the case at 154 pounds, but he showed a deficiency in his mental strength in that fight. I don't care what nobody says. He came to lay down for a check. He went into survival mode. And Tszyu being somebody who is on the come up right now, you know what I'm saying? He's probably looking at that and licking his chops now. And the reason why, and part of the reason why Tszyu is so confident right now is Jermell Charlo's fault. You know what I mean? Because if he would have went out and gave Canelo a hell of a fight, Tszyu probably would have been concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, he just moved up 2 weight classes and gave Canelo work. Damn, I got to be on my P's and Q's whenever I fight this guy. But because Jermell put on that type of performance, he probably like, man, he not really like that, man. You see how the way you seen how he just went out like that, man? Like, he's beatable. He's looking at Jermell as a regular fighter now, like an average human. You know what I mean? And I mean, yeah, Jermell is human, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he's looking at him as somebody that's beatable. You know what I'm saying? When Jermell was looking like a monster at 154, you probably didn't look at it the same way as he's looking at it now. You know what I mean? Got Tszyu poking his chest out, feeling like he's the boogeyman at 154 now. You know what I'm saying? And I say all this to say that, man, this is why I said all money ain't good money. Because now that your reputation is down the drain, now everybody looking at you like you fool. Now, you could take that and use that to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? You could do that. Go back down to 54, make a couple statements, get the division all shook up again. But this doesn't help you at all, because what could happen in all honesty is if you're trying to pursue that Tim Tszyu fight, he may take over like the whole he may take over the A side in this situation. I understand you're the unified champion. I understand that you still the number one guy at 154 pounds. You got 3 out of the 4 belts. I understand that. Let me make this clear. I understand that he's still the number one guy in the division. However, when it comes to being the A side, it doesn't necessarily mean how many belts you have, but who's more popular. You know what I'm saying? And because Jermell just fucking laid an egg during this fight, it's very unlikely that a lot of fans are going to come out to see one of his fights again because of the way they looked at him this time. He received a lot of negative criticism for this fight, and justifiably so. So when that happens and your stock drops, you know what I mean? Them checks going to look a little bit lower. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a lot lower in comparison to that Canelo check he just got. And a lot of people not going to want to go to his fights because they're going to think about his last performance. Boxing is what have you done for me lately kind of sport. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Charlo in all honesty, man, I'm going on a revenge tour, just like Caleb Plant did. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my road to redemption. I have to redeem myself to show these motherfuckers that I am still the man. I am still one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world. And if I have to do that by getting rid of all these dudes at 154 to get that one belt back, or if I had to become the dude again by destroying Tim Tszyu, I will do it by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney went to Australia to beat Kambosos twice. You might have to take that trip to Australia to fight Tim Tszyu. I'm sorry, man. There might be more money available in Australia to take that fight with Tim Tszyu. I know you in it for the money. You say you want the big money fights, right? That's what you said during your press conferences. Well, besides the Terrence Crawford fight and another Canelo fight, which you're not going to get, Tim Tszyu may be the biggest bag. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford about to be caught up in this rematch with Earl Spence. He not available. You're not getting Canelo again. He not running it back with you, bro. You didn't bring nothing to the table in that fight or made it even competitive, controversial, whatever. So Tim Tszyu may be the biggest fight available for you right now. And to get the biggest bag possible, most likely that money going to be looking real good out there in Australia. So you may have to take that trip over there if you want the biggest bag and want to really redeem yourself and get yourself back on the positive road and get people to start looking at you again. Because if you dominate Tim Tszyu, there might be people who may give you the benefit of the doubt and be like, all right, man, maybe that weight jump was too much, man. He still looks like the same beast that we saw, man. Maybe that jump was a little bit too much. And they'll start cutting you some slack. You know what I'm saying? I already know how these fans work, bro. It don't take much to switch the narrative around with them. They real, how can you say that? Naive. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have them thinking one thing, and as soon as you put on a great performance, they're like, "Oh, he's back. Oh man, maybe that last fight was because of an injury. Maybe that fight was because he just wasn't feeling it that night. Maybe it was because he moved up 2 weight classes. Oh, it's still Lions only," and then they'll jump right back on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what I would do if I was Charlo. You know what I mean? In all honesty, if I was Charlo, I really get shit back shaking. I would go to Australia for Brian Mendoza and Tim Tszyu fight and hop in the ring after the fight like, yo, I need my belt back. Like, what the fuck is good? What's up? We gonna fight or what? Like, yeah, I came back. Yeah. What's up? And I just really start getting the 154 division shaking, doing that kind of shit. Being the bad guy, running down on people, putting that pressure on Tim Tszyu. Like, all right, you got that belt. You know what I'm saying? I'm back at 154, so what we doing? You know what I'm saying? He could really do that and really get shit jumping. That's what he's gonna have to do to have some type of rebrand. He has a lot of building up to do. It's like he's starting back from square one. He's starting back from square one in terms of his reputation, not in terms of his fucking accolades or you know what I'm saying, like being one of the top guys, because he's still, in my opinion, a top guy at 154. Don't get it wrong, but his reputation is looking a little bit down the drain right now. So this is what he's gonna have to do to get the people back on his good side. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion in all honesty, man. Tim Tszyu poking his chest out, feeling himself, feeling like he the man because of Jermell Charlo's decision-making, his mishaps, his performances. But he has some room to bounce back from this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest Jermell Charlo fan. Don't get it fucked up. I really don't like the dude, but there is room for him to redeem himself and get people back on his good side and have people back on the bandwagon. And if he goes about things the right way, he could possibly convince Terrence Crawford to make that fight over again. You know what I'm saying? Because Terrence Crawford has been around saying that he's not interested in the fight no more because how the way Jermell performed, they're calling him a baby cub and all this shit. But if he were to get back on the road to redemption, let's say he cleaned a couple guys off at 154 and he faced Tim Tszyu and demolishes him in Australia, I'm sure people will be rooting for Jermell over again, and Crawford would definitely consider it. And that's another big bag. That's what you're looking for, right? Payday, payday. I know that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that's what Jermell Charlo is looking for, man. That's my thoughts on the whole situation. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm posting or going live. On the road to 1K, man. We almost there, man. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob. I'll be back on live in a couple hours, man. I'll holler at y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.